Paratroopers, on the double! Fire!
Hey guys, I'm Connor from Star Wars DIY. Today I'm going to be something that I made before. So, I made this a while ago, or the beginning of 2021, and I wanted to remake it because the release of the Bad Batch, and this is my favorite character from the Bad Batch. So let's get to the intro. Okay guys, so here I have all of the base templates for my new tech helmet drawn out. Now I'm going to cut them and then get back to you guys, so let's go. Okay guys, so all of the templates are cut out. Now I'm just starting to glue them together, so starting with the nose and moving my way down. It's just a matter of gluing the templates together, make sure they line up. So I'm getting to the point where I'm gluing on some of the bigger pieces and then adding the big piece and just reinforce. Okay guys, so what I did is everything was glued down. Then I glued the main faceplate onto this circle or oval and then just added a few supports here and there. And that would just make it easier for when I'm working. Now I'm going to get these eye figured out, but those are actually goggles. So I have some templates cut out. Now let's go into a time lapse of putting the goggles together. Okay guys, so these goggles that I made ended up being too small, but they still looked really good. So what I'm doing, I'm just gluing together all the templates, make the two halves of the goggles, and then connecting them with a piece of cardboard, and on top, a wooden stick. So then you can just add some little details here and there to really make the goggles that much better, including the little laser, which I used a Nerf dart, and some little pieces of cardboard. So I had to modify the goggles a little. What I did, I actually cut these off, so I realized they wouldn't really fit in the helmet. And then what I am going to do, the top piece came off, so I'm going to re-glue that on. Then I'm going to give everything a nice layer of black paint. Unfortunately, the layer of paint didn't film, so we're jumping right into a time lapse of weathering. What I'm just doing, I'm dry brushing some silver on and then painting the little laser red, just masking around it so there's no red gets on to the goggles, and then that is it. Okay guys, so here are the goggles. I'm happy how they look. I'm just not happy with the size. They are too small for my helmet, so I will probably have to end up making another pair. But now I'm going to cut out a few more templates. Okay guys, now that we have some templates cut out, now it's time to start gluing them. Okay guys, so the first piece I'm gluing down is the little inset into the back. And then when that's done, I'm just gluing the main back plate on top of that. And then I'm going to start gluing on the visor pieces together, so just the three basic pieces. And then I'm marking out where the hinges are going to be. Okay guys, so we attached, as you saw, some of the templates, including the heads-up display and the back portion. But what I did off camera, I designed part of one of these ears, and it's just held on with a few magnets, and it's held on, in my opinion, pretty strong. For display purposes, it's very good, but you can't turn it upside down. It's just magnets, and I'm very happy how it came out. So now let's make another one in a time lapse. Okay guys, so I'm just tracing out all the pieces. I just had one left to do. And then I'm gluing just all the pieces together, lining everything up as best as I can. And then when this hexagon is done, I'm going to add the magnets on to the ear first, and then mark them out onto the helmet and then glue them. I do one at a time, so one in the ear, one in the helmet, one in the ear, one on the helmet, one in the ear. Then the last one attaches to the helmet. That is just so I can line everything up and make sure everything is as best as it possibly can. So this does take a while. You just want to be patient because it will end out really well in the long run. Okay guys, so now both of the earpieces are done, and when they are on the helmet, they kind of look like low-budget Princess Leia buns. And it's very, very funny in my opinion. Now what I'm going to start to figure out is this front front tubes up here. So I'm going to do one off camera and then show you how to make the other one. So let's go. Okay guys, so this is what one of the finished cheek tubes looks like. But here we have the nozzle piece. Right here, it's just a piece of cardboard that is a few layers thick. And then there's filler cardboard. So what I will do is take these triangles and lay them across, gluing them together, and it'll give it a beveled look. Then I have a bunch of templates over here that I use for the cheek tubes and for the inner wall. So I'm going to do that in a time lapse. Okay guys, so I had a sheet of templates that I'm just cutting out, as long as gluing on that cheek place, just an indent and then glue layer on top. Then it's time to work on the main tube. It's just the piece I showed you earlier, then laying on the little triangles right onto it. And then when that's done, I'm just going to start lining up all of my pieces for the rest of the cheeks. These took very fast because all of the pieces were already made due to me already making one. Okay guys, both of the cheek tubes are on, and then I went ahead and did the back. It doesn't really match up, it's just a little T, so I just added that and then angled it in. But now this is the whole base of the helmet. Now it's time to take the goggles off and work on the dome. Okay guys, so I'm using the same dome method as I had in all my separate videos. But first I'm just adding a little piece to the nose just to reinforce it. But I take a strip of cardboard, attach it to the front, and run it along to the back. And then do the same thing for the sides, and this makes the base framework of the helmet. And then what you're going to do is glue in these pieces in between the framework to make another framework for smaller pieces. You just glue it in and then mark out where you're going to cut it, and glue it down to the helmet where it seems necessary. Okay guys, so you saw I added one of these, then I went ahead and did one for each corner, and then this one I just started to fill it in. So now let's go to a time lapse of filling the rest of these little gaps in. Okay guys, to fill in these gaps is easy but time consuming. What you're going to do, take a piece of cardboard, hold it up to the gap, and then trace along it and cut it out with a little bit of extra room. Then you're going to put it in and glue it into place. And you have to do this for all these little gaps, but the time is worth it. I was actually able to get the entire dome done within one day and was very happy of my progress. But there's just many of these, so you want to take your time first of all and get all of them as perfect as possible. Okay guys, so the helmet is 100% done, or the build is. All we have to do now is take off the ears, goggles, and then spackle and paint. But that's the first thing we're going to do, is spackle. Okay guys, so I'm just spackling over everything that looks like it needs some. So all of the seams are getting a little bit of spackle right onto them, just making it so much more smoother after sanding, which I'm going to do. Okay guys, so what I did with the spackle, I sanded it, then I gave it the first layer of filler primer. Then I masked off all the areas I want to remain gray, spackled over again all the areas that needed it. Now I'm going to paint it white. Okay guys, so this is what I have on tech right now. Some of the base layer of paint's on. Now what I'm going to do, cut off some of the supports, well, because they are not needed. But the next thing we're going to work on is the ears, which we have these two pieces. And then what I didn't show on camera is I just cut out two panels that will go on top like that. And then I printed out a picture of the digitalized skull and lightning, and it's going to go on top of the ear. So let's go to a time lapse of gluing them and getting the visor 100% done. Let's go. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue on the visor. It's just a piece of an old yellow folder that I had that I drew some lines on and then painted over them. Then for the digitalized earpiece, I just cut it out of paper and then glued it onto the ear. And as you saw, I did add that gray piece right onto the ear, and you have to do this for both of the ears. So once that is done, I'm just going to start to weather the entire helmet. But first, there is the red stripe down the middle, so I gotta have that. And then I'm adding some white paint just to weather everything down and give it a worn look. And I'm super happy how this came out, and might be the best helmet to date that I made. I keep saying that because I always feel like it's true. But weathering does take some time. It just has to be very perfect. Okay, guys, all the paint is on. Now what I have to do is give everything a clear coat, then attach the goggles. I'm going to do that all off camera so I can reveal the full helmet to you. Let's go. Hey guys, thank you for watching till the end of how I made my new and improved tech helmet. I'm super happy how this turned out. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel, because this is what I do. I try to produce very, very awesome helmets out of cardboard. So thank you for watching. Subscribe and like the video, and have a good day. And may the force be with you.